everybody, and welcome to soccermag.com. I've got Dylan here. Dylan, welcome back from your European tour. How did it go?
It was great. It was amazing.
Yeah, how many Liverpool games did you catch?
2. I got 2 in, which was great.
And they won both the games?
Yes, they did. And luckily I got out just before they started losing.
Well, they've only lost one game to Crystal Palace, so let's not...
Yeah.
But they haven't looked...
Convincing at all.
No,
Yeah.
they've limped along, and now Alisson's out, and it's... they're not clicking on all cylinders, are they?
No, not at all. There are some worrying signs. I wouldn't say I'm completely, shaking and quivering, but I think there are some worrying signs.
Okay, well, sure. we're gonna give a quick analysis and prediction for all 10 games. So let's get straight into it, and let's look at Bournemouth versus Fulham. What's your thoughts on that?
I think both are very good teams in that they are very positive, and I think Bournemouth at home is one of the toughest games in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I think they put the opposition's defend, they press really high. There's a lot of traffic in midfield, not a lot of time on the ball. Fulham as well, both managers, I think, Marcus Silva and Areola are some of the best in the Premier League. So it'll be a good battle. I will give it to Bournemouth since they're at home. And their form is better. So
well, their home form is good,
yeah,
if not excellent. They've got some playmakers, and I expect to see some goals here. And my prediction is a 2-1 Bournemouth win.
I like that. I'm going to go with that as well.
You're going 2-1, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So next up we have Leeds United at home against Spurs. Leeds, my team, obviously, so take what I say with a pinch of salt and take Dylan's stuff to the bank. How do you feel about this game?
I think it's going to be an interesting game. Spurs have...
They've got good form on the road. 2 wins and a draw.
Yeah, they've improved a lot this season. Like already since Thomas Frank has been there, I think they're a lot more solid. They have some really exciting attacking players. Leeds also, though, I think all 3 of the promoted teams have kind of surprised in a way where they're not as easy to beat. I know Leeds have had some heavy defeats this season, but they've got points on the board already.
Well, no, Leeds had one heavy defeat to Arsenal, 5-0.
Exactly.
So that threw out the goals for and the goals against.
Yeah, but I think they've been solid this season. They've got points on the board.
Since the Arsenal thing, I mean, they haven't looked too bad. They certainly look like they're capable of perhaps staying up.
I think this is probably the most competitive season we've had with regards to the promoted teams staying up. I think it's what Wolves, West Ham, they're at the bottom and they're in serious danger here. I think they've been cruising for too long. And they're actually under threat.
Wolves haven't won a game yet, I don't believe.
I think they've been pretty much battered every week besides one.
They lost a lot of players this year. Huh? So, yeah, they're definitely a team in flux, and I think they've got one hand on the relegation zone.
It's looking tough for them. But going back to it, I like Spurs, though. I think on paper they're too strong for Leeds. I like the 2.49 on Betway for an away win for Spurs, so I think I'm just going to go with that. Maybe 2-0.
2-0? I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw and be an optimist for a Leeds fan. I think both teams are capable of scoring. Leeds have certainly been filling the back of the net. 3 and 2 goals in the last 2 games. I think they stay on the board. 1-1 for me. Okay, so next up we have Arsenal versus West Ham. Is this a bridge too far for Nuno Santos? It's like when you look at every team he's gone to, Nottingham Forest, he was, where was he? Wolves.
Wolves, yeah.
Those teams were solid. How much of an impact can he have in a week's time? In a week since Potter was fired, how effective can West Ham be against Arsenal? Because I have this game 3-0 Arsenal.
I don't think there's anything he can do to stop Arsenal this weekend. I think they will. I think they're gonna 3-goal margin or something. I think they're gonna destroy West Ham.
Yeah,
they haven't shown anything really at all this season. Obviously,
well, they 5-0 against Leeds. You mean Arsenal or West Ham?
West Ham.
Okay. Well, no, they haven't shown anything.
Yeah, I think
they beat Everton or something like that. I'm not sure.
I'm not even sure who they beat, but it doesn't really matter.
No.
They Arsenal are hitting. I think that win against Newcastle was massive for them. Mentally, that is exactly what they needed.
99th minute, was it?
Yeah. Last season, they lose that game or they draw that game.
Yeah.
And I think the attacking players they have, I'm sure Eze will start. I'm sure, Saka will start. He's getting closer to full match fitness.
Yeah.
Defensively, I don't think there's anything that can trouble them. Yeah, I just think Arsenal will blow them away.
You think overwhelming triple goal win by
I think
something.
it could even be one of those games where Arsenal go 2-0 up and they just cruise.
Yeah.
Not to save West Ham's embarrassment, but purely because they're like, what's the point?
Yeah, West Ham are not in a good space. Obviously, getting rid of Potter, bringing in Nunes.
Yeah.
And where can he take them? I mean, West
I
Ham.
think he'll probably steady the ship at some point, but I think it's such a mess.
Not
now.
the right weekend. Looks like I chose the wrong week to stop smoking.
They should have given him 1 week. Wait till the international break and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm 3-0. What's your thoughts?
I'll go 4-0.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
just a little bit more convincing. A little bit more convincing.
Next up, we have Manchester United versus Sunderland. Now,
this is actually a tough one.
Man United are actually big in name only. I mean, since Ferguson left, this team has been just languishing in mediocrity to the point of the lower echelons of the Premier League. So when you talk about a Man United Sunderland game, usually you would, because of the name of the Man United, they're getting some sort of bias in terms of that. What's your thoughts on Man United Sunderland? I mean,
at this point, I don't know what to expect from Man United. I think Sunderland have been impressive. Again, they've played really well. They've got some really good players. United have just... The fact that they lost, I mean, that they beat Chelsea was more... It looked like Chelsea just gave up than, United beat Chelsea. I think they got the red card early and it was... Cole Palmer was taken off because he was injured, and then it was, okay, just make sure this isn't embarrassing. And then against Brentford, they just got outplayed. So it's tough to judge every week what you're going to get with United because they'll beat Chelsea or they'll lose to Brentford.
Well, the manager doesn't seem to have a clue.
I think he's playing... I don't really understand what's going on there. I think he is... Obviously, there's a lot of talk he's committed to his system, but the players... it isn't working. They're losing too many games. I think he's lost... I think it was 17 of his 30 matches or something like that. He's got one of probably the worst win percentage as a Man United manager.
Yeah. Well, they've gone through managers like underwear in the last couple of years or 3 years. Since Ferguson, how many? They've Moyes, they've had Solskjaer.
Moyes, Mourinho, Oli, Ten Hag, Rangnick. So it's been quite a few. Van Gaal.
It's kind of you're kind of describing a mythical Norseman movie. It's crazy, eh?
I think at Old Trafford, United should beat Sunderland.
Well, they've got a good record against Sunderland. So.
And the thing is, they do have individual talent. Mbeumo scored 20 goals in the Premier League last season. He is not a bad player. Cunha scored 15. He's not a bad player. Bruno is one of the best creators in the Premier League. There's just something fundamentally wrong.
I think he's playing out of position, though.
He's playing way deeper. He's being told to come and get the ball, defend. Why would you put your best attacking player, your most creative player, and shackle him in midfield and say, win the ball back? It doesn't make sense.
Because the manager has a system, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like a bit of ego over common sense to me.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they lose to Sunderland, because Sunderland...
Wouldn't shock me.
No, they are motivated. They seem to have more energy. They will want to win this game, I think, more than Man United want to win this game. But it's at Old Trafford. I'm just going to go for a draw.
You're going for a
draw? A 1-1 draw. Just because I'm on the fence, I can't see which way it goes.
I think that this is the week that Man United pocks a win. And 2-1 for me, Man United.
Keep Amram in his job for a couple more weeks.
Drag him along for a couple more weeks. I think that they'll have enough at home to beat Sunderland. They'll eke out a 2-1 win, but it won't be convincing.
Yeah, maybe an own goal or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we have Liverpool versus Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. For me, Liverpool haven't looked like the polished gemstone this year. They've got 15 out of 18 points. Fair enough. Salah's not Salah-like. All their signings haven't gelled together. And they were lucky not to lose the game 5-0 last week.
They were... That first 45 minutes was probably one of the most brutal halves I've watched in a while. I think the post and Alisson saved Liverpool from an embarrassing result. Second half was a bit better, but again, Palace are defending a lead. And at will, they're cutting through your team and they want to score. They have a chance. They have a 1-on-1 with the keeper. So it wasn't really... The thing about watching Liverpool over the past couple games, they lost to Galatasaray last night, it's that Liverpool have a lot of possession, but there's no... It's almost like the attacking players don't know what to do. They have Isak on the field. They have Ekitike on the field. They have Wirtz on the field. £300 million worth of talent, but they're not getting the ball. And when they are getting the ball, they're under pressure. It's not in the right places. Wirtz is an attacking midfielder, but he's have to drop deep. He has to come to the halfway line to fetch the ball. I think if you look at the players with the ball the players that are making the most passes, the players that hold the ball the most for Liverpool, it's Van Dijk and Konate. And last night, particularly against Palace, the midfield doesn't know what to do. So they give it to Van Dijk, and Van Dijk has to try, thread a pass through the middle. He has to hit it long to Salah, who as well, both wingers are hugging the touchline, double marked. What you want them to do? Mo's he's not a crosser, he's not De Bruyne, he's not going to cross the ball in, but that's what he has to do because he's got two players on him. There's very little movement around him, so either he passes it back to midfield, he passes it back to Van Dijk, and the system repeats 300 times. So,
what's missing?
I think it's a lack of confidence in some players, but also there's just something fundamentally wrong when you have 4 attacking players, 3 of them arguably the best in Europe last season, and they're not touching the ball. Yeah, there's clearly a systemic issue there that Mo Salah doesn't create 50 goals last season and then suddenly become terrible. He's not touching the ball. Same with Isak, same with Wirtz. And when they are getting the ball, it's in a terrible place. There's 3 players on them. They have to dribble through 2 players. Their only option is back to Van Dijk, back to Konate.
Yeah, because I remember Isak last year scoring a lot of goals from cruising. Yeah, front on, taking on defenders. Exactly. And I don't see that in the Liverpool setup. I don't see guys getting the ball in the right places.
And that's, I think, the biggest problem. There's a lot of possession, but when you have 25 shots on goal and 2 are on target, you're not dominating another team. You are just... They're letting you have the ball. You're playing into their hands.
You're playing whack-a-mole.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and I think the problem also is just how easy it is to attack Liverpool. It's almost like Klopp's second last season when Fabinho got paralyzed from the waist down and he couldn't move anymore. Where it was one pass and you add Van Dijk or you add Konate or you add Alisson. And this whole season, it's been 7, 8, 9 games. Even though Liverpool have won most of their games, that trend has continued the whole time. It's just Alisson has to make 5 1-on-1 saves. It's not going to last. No. And now that he's injured, can Mamardashvili do that? I don't know. We'll see. But the problem is just there's something just fundamentally wrong with it's confidence, but it's also the team. There's just something not working there.
Well, before the game starts, the package looks great. The food looks good on the table. It just tastes shit.
Exactly. Not enough seasoning.
No. Yeah. Nowhere near. So saying that and your trepidations against Liverpool, what's your prediction?
To be honest, I think it can only improve after the last 2 performances. And I think this is a test for Arne Slot now because I don't think it's like last season when they lost to Forest and it was almost a blip. It was like they had one attack, they scored a world-class goal. You're like, okay, there's not much you can do about that. This has been a consistent trend where they've been getting through games and winners, champions, they'll find a way to win. But if you are exposed defensively and not creating enough chances, it'll catch up to you. And I think Chelsea are good enough, even though they don't have Cole Palmer. It's at Stamford Bridge. They 2 or 3 if you give Caicedo, Enzo, all these players, they need to make 1 or 2 passes to get through your team. João Pedro, they will score. Neto will score. So I think I'm going to go with a draw because I don't think Liverpool's trajectory is going upwards. I think at best it's staying neutral. And you'd think with the excuse of that new players are gelling, most of the players have had a full preseason and they've had 8 or 9 games now. It should be getting better, but it doesn't look like it's getting better. I think Liverpool have been able to play well for half an hour in a game.
Well, they haven't taken a team apart, have they?
Exactly. And I don't even think they've been able to settle against the team, which is a problem. They haven't been able to defend a lead. So that's the problem.
Yeah, it's they're a very deceptive 5-1 team. You know, I do think that they win on the weekend. I think 2-1. They squeak out a win, another one, and it sort of stays there. You know, look at a win away against Chelsea is a win.
Yeah, I think that's all that matters. Just get the win and move on.
Yeah.
But I'm not feeling super confident at the moment. I know Chelsea haven't been in great form, but I'm just going to go with a draw.
I'm taking Liverpool to win 2-1.
I think 1-1 draw. I think also, like, looking at the previous results, 7 of the last 10, I think, have been draws in 90 minutes, if you include the cup finals. So there's not often winners in this game.
Well, they don't play Crystal Palace for a while now. So.
Yeah, thank goodness. Well, they play them in the League Cup, but thank goodness it's at Anfield. Jeez.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So next up, we have Aston Villa versus Burnley. It's Aston Villa's off to a slow start, starting to put it together now. I see nothing but a strong Villa win here.
Agreed. I think Burnley will park the bus properly, like we've seen them do. But Villa, they're starting to click. I think they've improved. They're actually scoring goals now, which is a positive.
Yeah.
So I'll give Villa a home win, 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0 for me as well. I think that Burnley's away record and...
Burnley at Turf Moor is a completely different story.
When your focus is to get a draw and park the bus, it's never a good focus, is it? It only goes wrong from there.
Yeah, if you play to not lose, you will lose. Yeah.
Okay, next up, Everton versus Crystal Palace. Who's going to win and what score? Everton play all right at home. They're tough at home, eh?
Well, I think Everton have improved considerably since David Moyes got there. I think the season, other than that blip against Leeds at the beginning, I think Merseyside Derby, they played really well. I think they're a really good side, and I think this will be an interesting test for Palace. They are the only unbeaten team still in the Premier League. They played really well against Liverpool. Yeah.
But how much to read into that? Because everybody's played reasonably well against Liverpool.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone has their best game of the season against Liverpool.
Yeah.
So,
well, they are champions. Right?
Yeah.
And let's not discount that factor of raising of teams always 100%. Raising their game to
you
play.
Want the scalp. You want the champion scalp.
Yeah. Always harder to defend than win.
Exactly. That's why so few teams do it.
So what do you think? Can Crystal Palace... I think they'll go undefeated. I'm thinking 1-1. I think that both teams have a few injuries. Settling down into an offensive pattern. It's going to be a bit harder. I see this game being very close, and Palace extend their win, their streak, unbeaten run, to 7, I think, and they get a 1-1 draw out of this game.
I think the only reason I'm going to back Palace is because of the 2.9 for their away win, which I think is really high. Yeah. Considering they are unbeaten. And just the way that they're playing.
Well, they dominated Liverpool, didn't they?
They should have been Liverpool 5-0, which I don't think many people would have thought.
No.
So surely they'll beat Little Everton comfortably. No, I'm just...
yeah. Home teams...
I'm going to say maybe a 2-1 Crystal Palace win, but basing it on the 2.9 odds.
Okay, cool. So 1-1 for me, 2-1 for you. Okay. You got Newcastle versus Forest. I see that Newcastle have dominated this fixture in the last years. You know, they've won 5 out of 6. They play better at home. They took Arsenal to 99 minutes before they succumbed to a defeat. Forest away, not the same team. I'm liking a 2-1 victory here for Newcastle. What's your thoughts?
I think Newcastle St James's Park. It's taken 2 99-minute winners to beat them there this season, basically. Yeah. Forest still adjusting to Ange, how they want to play. Still not necessarily convinced they have the right players for that. And I think Newcastle, Arsenal deservedly won that game. They hit the post a couple times. They created really good chances. But I don't think there's anything Forest can really do. Newcastle are just too powerful. They defense, I know they conceded a set piece against Arsenal, but Arsenal are the best attacking set piece side in the league. I think Anthony Gordon, Elanga, they have Voltemada, they have attacking players that can really hurt Forest. I think on the counter with Ange's high line, that Anthony Gordon and Elanga are going to eat that up like it's their last meal. So, yeah, I think a 2-0 for Newcastle win.
Okay, so we're in agreement that Newcastle win.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, we've got a struggling Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Brighton Hove Albion. What's your thoughts on this game?
Wolves are terrible. I think they've been signs that they've been going on a downward trajectory, but really this is
You got 1 point
almost rock bottom for them. It will be sad to see them get relegated, but I think there are very few redeeming qualities. I think if you watch their first game of the season against Man City, they got blown away 4-0.
Yeah.
But there were moments where you think, okay, they are creating opportunities. It is Man City. What are you going to do? But since then, there've been few. I think the performances just haven't been good enough. I don't think their attack, their defense, or their midfield is really strong enough. The fact that they're getting blown away, well, not even blown away, they're just losing too many games. You can't lose 5 out of your first 6 and draw 1 and want to stay in the Premier League. So Brighton,
you can't be grabbing 1 out of 18 points and hoping to go anywhere.
Exactly. So Brighton, way stronger. They've got some big wins already, City and Spurs.
They've had some patchy results, though.
They have, but they're just too good for Wolves. I think, despite being away from home, the best Wolves can hope for, I think, in this situation is a draw.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they have the ability to stop Brighton from scoring at least 1 or 2 goals.
Yeah.
And I don't see Wolves scoring 3 or maybe even 2.
No, I don't either. I think that this game goes 2-1 Brighton.
And I think doubling your money for Brighton to win this game. It's a team that hasn't won the season. So I'm going to go for Brighton as well. I think 2-1, maybe 2-0.
Okay. 2-1 for me, 2-0 for you.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you make of Brentford, who probably are the Billy Ball of the Premier League in terms of the way they manage their team? They bring guys in, statistically analyze them to death, and just slot them in there and are an active seller. And a profitable football club.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is their manager's first ever season as a coach potentially, and he was I was not a line-out coach, but a throw-in coach, if I'm not mistaken. But going to their performance against Man United, they completely dominated them. Igor up top really was a massive problem. But Man City are Man City, and I think this won't be an easy game for them.
No, not to break Brentford down. I don't see it, but
I think Man City Haaland is in such great form. It's almost back to two to 3 seasons ago where he's getting the service he needs. He's getting the goals.
Yeah.
Where it felt like last season, because they were so exposed without Rodri, they could not give him the service he needed because De Bruyne's legs were going, or not going, but because he wasn't the same, he was injured constantly. Foden was
he's not exactly in a wheelchair.
I mean, not like Fabinho in his final season. But I think that's really helped City, and it'll be interesting to see, because after that Arsenal game and Man City defended so deep. They won't. There's no way they'll return to that. They're Man City playing Brentford. I think that was purely a one-time thing. But I'm gonna back a City one here.
Okay, so I'm 3-1. You're
2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
Okay, that's our Premier League wrap-up for all 10 games. Good luck this weekend betting,
Thank you,
and make every bet a winning bet.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm hoping. Yeah, Spurs, Brighton. Those are my 2 that I'm sticking with.
Okay.
And Palace.
Thanks, DJ, and welcome back.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.